I'm going to talk about truck camper steps or ladders. Now in this case, this is a Hallmark flatbed camper. And you can see that the tape tells us that the threshold there is 46 or 47 inches tall. That's a pretty dang big step. Now I'm pretty tall and I can use and do use this white knuckle off-road hitch step, which also acts like a little bumper, and I love it. But it's not the only thing I want to use repeatedly in camp. So something that is taller is better. Also would like to note this camper has a rear door, and that is my preference. Some people like a side door, I get it. But to me, being able to see out the glass through my rear view mirror or just over my shoulder without any electronic camera is great. It's good on highway, it's good off highway. But we still need to get into the camper. And so what do we do other than this step? Well, it's a bunch of options, of course. First, a quick look at what I am not using. So this is a kind of typical common Rubbermaid 3-step ladder or stool, and it's great around the shop and for general utility stuff, but the top bar is obviously a hazard. Just the way it's designed does not allow me to snake it around my hitch step very well, which I don't want to lose. So this is a no-go. Here's something else I am not using. I bought this specifically for the truck camper, and it's great in a lot of ways. It's a good height. It's not too big of a step there from the top of the ladder to the threshold. However, it is a chonker of a ladder. It's very thick, it's heavy, and ladders need to be stored or mounted when they're not in use, and I kind of like them just to ride inside the back door, easily put it out and put it on the ground. But this thing is a beast, and it's pretty darn expensive as well. So this is the ladder that we've been using for years. Top step is wide and deep. Little bit of a jump up there to the door threshold, particularly for my wife, but it has worked quite well. It's extremely thin and light, but I tend to bounce in and out of the camper, and it was starting to separate. You see I've got it held together with bungee cords. So eventually we need a better, more robust solution. So this is what I decided to buy and try, just a very simple, basic 3-foot tall, 3-step aluminum ladder. I actually had to special order it though, because it seems like all the home improvement stores either have a 2-step that's only 2 feet tall or 4-foot tall ladder, and 4 foot's a little bit too much. You'd have to step over the top of it to get into the camper. Also, there appears to be a newer version of this that's rated at 300 pounds, which I don't need, and also has a fold-out step, which I think would be a negative. So we're going to give this a spin. So the first use of this new Werner ladder is quite promising. You can see the difference in the height of the top step, and the Werner is actually 35 inches from my shop floor to the top instead of 36. That's no big deal. The height of this top step on the ladder on the left up to the camper door threshold is 18 inches, whereas the distance from the top step of this new 3-foot tall ladder is only 11 inches, and the spacing between all the other steps is 12 inches, and that's really good. A lot more natural. Should just be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're in. So my first impression is that this is going to work really well for our Hallmark flatbed camper. If there's a negative, it's a little bit stiff to open and close. I did put some lube on the hinges and pivot points, but probably just need to be a little bit careful opening and closing it so I don't bend it. It weighs only 7 pounds, and it was only $50. That was a deal.